Story that came out in HuffPost Black Voices, November 18th, 2017. Black men's sentences 20% longer than white men's for similar crimes. But we already knew this, but you know, the high IQ people, they need studies. All right, so let's go ahead and play this video. Story that came out in HuffPost Black Voices, November 18th, 2017. Black men's sentences 20% longer than white men's for similar crimes. But we already knew this, but the high IQ people, they need studies. All right, so let's go ahead and play this video. Crimes because they think that keeps Black people mass incarcerated in this country. And that's really the only purpose of it. They don't want anybody in there more than Black people. And that's the way they intend on keeping it. They want to keep the white males free, even though they're committing a lot of crimes, but they want to keep them free, and they want the cheap labor done by Black people. So nothing is going to change in this country, even if the white males are committing the same type of crime, ladies and gentlemen. So we just saw in the video, Black men are sentenced, and they get longer sentences than white males that commit the same type of crime. This is how it's been since the beginning. It's not going to change, ladies and gentlemen. These people are going to be unfair to us down to their final day of their 6,000 years. A report released last week from the USSC, an independent agency of the U.S. judicial branch, looked at federal prison sentences in the United States from October 1st, 2011 to September 30th, 2016, and found that Black male offenders received sentences on average 19 to 1% longer than those of similar situated white male offenders. The commission also factored the offender's criminal history to look at whether violence in offenders' past could account for the racial disparities, and found that it did not. So much for, oh, well, you're committing the most crimes. Well, they're saying in this report, the Black males didn't commit any more crimes than the white males did. Okay, so much for that. You're committing all the crimes. You're full of shit. Plain and simple. Look at 2016, the only year for which such data was available. The commission found that After controlling for criminal history, Black men received 20.4% longer sentences than white men. And these are white men that did the same exact crime, have the same type of rap sheet, and so on and so forth. But they're still getting the kid gloves sentence, and the Black man is getting the hard, heavy handed sentence. The report findings match those of a previous USSC report from 2007 to 2011, which found a nearly 20% gap in sentences between Black and white men. And here's their chart on sentencing. I'm not surprised. You can see the percentages here. Racial disparities in sentencing appear to have increased over the last 2 decades, worsening specifically after 2005. And that's because of the private prison industrial system that's in place that's using these men as slave labor. So the same people that were in slavery are the same ones they insist on rounding up and putting in there and claiming that you are doing the worst crimes out here. And it's just not happening, ladies and gentlemen. And most Black men are in prison for non-violent drug offenses. If you were the most violent people, then it would be reflective in the prison numbers, and it just simply is not. I've looked at too many reports, and before you high IQ people got something to say, go out there and research it yourself, which I know you won't do because you want to be right. You don't care about the truth. You think anything that comes out of your mouth is a fact, and it's not a fact at all. The gap between Black and white men in sentencing is about 11% for 1998 to 2003 and 5% for 2003 to 2005, but it jumped to 15% for 2005 to 2007 and nearly 20% thereafter. USSC noted in a 2010 report that the differences in sentence length between Black and white males offenders have increased steadily since the Supreme Court ruled in 2005 in the United States versus Booker to increase judges' discretion in sentencing. Well, that's why, there you go. It's left up to the judge's discretion. Of course, if the offender is Black and the judge is white, they're going to automatically get the bigger sentence. But the factors contributing to racial disparities in sentencing are complex, according to Mark Meyer, director of the nonprofit Sentencing Project. Judges aren't the only factor or necessarily even the biggest in sentencing disparities. It's not necessarily racist judges. I disagree with that. You can tell this is a white dude, told HuffPost by email Friday. But much of the disparity is likely due to decision making by prosecutors. I blame the prosecutors and the judge and your entire legal system, which is the laughingstock of the earth. Maher pointed to research from scholars Sonia Starr and Marit Rehavi, which found that prosecutors have a huge impact on sentences as they have a broad discretion on how to charge an offender or whether to offer a plea bargain. Overall, sentencing is just one part of the broader problem of racial discrimination in the criminal justice system. The whole criminal justice system in America is racist. And in my opinion, it needs to be dismantled. It don't need no reforming. It needs dismantling. Black people are incarcerated in U.S. state prisons at more than 5 times the rate of white people. But when you go to the FBI chart, white people, crime is through the roof in the US. So you can tell, just like that DEA agent said, they're told to relax the laws in the white community, but enforce the laws heavily in urban areas. So we know what's going on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please, what you think this is just more of the same in this country. Please leave your comment and subscribe, and don't forget to hit on that notification bell. And if you can make a donation to my channel, please do. Peace, family.